and welcome to my 2020 craft room tour. This is the first year I've done a tour where I have my studio next door as well. So if you haven't seen my studio tour, I will link that just because it kind of, relates to this room. The rooms kind of work together, as it were. I will just apologise in advance. I was trying to make the video not too long. It's still about an hour, but some of the footage is a bit shaky because I was trying to be quick. So yeah, I am sorry about that. I still have my corner that we can't use because of a leak. It's been attempted to be fixed a couple of times and is still leaking, so yeah, there is a corner that can't be used. Just one thing I wanted to say before we get into it is if there's anything you want me to go back and do in more detail, such as I've had requests to do videos on my washi tape collection, my fountain pen collection, my ink collection, which is actually next door, not in this room, but anyway, anything you want me to go into more detail on, then just let me know down in the comments. And yeah, enjoy. Watch out for the shaky footage. So walking from my studio, which is next door, this is my craft room. I will give you a brief overview of it. It is not that much change since my previous craft room tour. Well, actually all of that is completely different, but a lot of stuff is very similar. I think I got to a point where I really found what works for me, but there are a few changes here and there. So I usually start with my desk, but I think I might do things a little differently this time around. Maybe we'll go clockwise. So as soon as you walk in, you have my bins, which I'm very sorry I didn't empty for the purpose of this room tour. One for recycling, which is just full of Diet Coke cans, and one for general rubbish. I also have to apologise that I didn't vacuum the floor. I was going to, but then the vacuum didn't have any charge and I couldn't be bothered to wait for it. So yes. So the first little corner here, if I just sort of go backwards, is this built-in sort of wardrobe-y unit here, and then this, which is not a real Kallax. I say this every single time. It's bigger than a Kallax, I think. The cubes are taller and wider, but they're not quite as deep, which I actually prefer. But I have no idea where it's from because it was like third or fourth hand when I got it. You will notice lots of skull things around just because I like skulls. Up the top is where I keep my scrapbooks. They were all vertical, but the other day they all toppled over and knocked that ornament onto my foot, so I need to rearrange things. I think I'm actually going to put the big ones up there and sort out something for those boxes. These top two units, cubes, whatever, have Kiki K things in them, which who knows, these might become like very valuable very soon if Kiki K does close down, if no one buys it out after they've gone into administration, but we will find out. So it's all Paper Lovers books and printed notepads here, and some random like plannery pages, like those little planner pockets and stuff up here. These shelves were neater once upon a time, but they've kind of outgrown themselves. Here I have some Kiki K notebooks, sticker books, and the B6 printed notepads, some list pads back there, notebook elastics. This has all Kiki K ballpoint pens and scissors, some of their large clips, little notepads, and these are all Kiki K gel pens. The rest of the unit pretty much is devoted to scrapbooking things. So I have a mix of these thin 12 by 12 little plastic boxes, which you can get all over the place. I think mine are from the range. And then these bigger ones, which are the art bins, which I buy from Hobbycraft. We're being interrupted. Hi. Meow. What is it? Okay, he's disappeared again. I can't remember what I was saying. Basically, they don't fit in a normal Kallax. They are vaguely in a sort of order. So this top one here is all pink paisley collections, apart from this is a random My Mind's Eye one. Oh, nearly tripped over. Here I have all my photos ready to print. They're all sort of organised in little named envelopes. So I've got junk journal photos, seasonal photos, then they're about a year and theme and all sorts of things. Then all of these are smaller collections, like I haven't got enough to be worth putting in a box like this. They're all in, there's 2 magazine files back there which I hacked the front off, and then all these 12 by 12 grip lock bags. They are in alphabetical order. There's lots of things like 13 Arts and AB Studio, then some older collections like crepe paper and stuff, a couple of Kaiser Craft, lots of Minte papers, but yeah, all the things that I can't you know, are not worth putting in a big box. I've all got these there. And then getting down here to show you this lot, and hi! I really need to empty that bin. I'm so sorry. That's not attractive to look at all. These are all Simple Stories collections, and then these are all kind of mixed media based. I've got Prima, Kaisercraft, Vicky Bootin, and then everything in there is all anything that's seaside or nautical or beach related. This cube down here is my complete and utter shame. This is about 50 or so layouts that need to be put away into albums, and I just haven't got around to it yet. Same for these guys. I kept them separate for a reason, and I don't even remember what that reason is, so I'm going to put those there. And this last cube, not scrapbook related whatsoever. I think I'm going to take these out because it's kind of wasting a cube, but this is all fountain pen friendly paper. I've mostly got this Oxford Optic paper and the campus refill pads, but I've got some Clairefontaine and some Rhodia and some Basildon Bond and stuff. I've got a spare box, 12 by 12 box down there. And then if we move to the little built-in cupboard wardrobe thing, we'll go from bottom to top because I'm already on the floor. It's probably the least organised part of my craft room. This little section is. This little shelf unit is a shoe rack from Argos. It was very, very cheap. I've got one in my bedroom for actual shoes. Down the bottom is unorganised mess, stuff that I really just need to deal with, and I've just kind of shoved it under there and pretended it's not there. All of those boxes there are Kiki K planner boxes, which are filled with Kiki K items like printed notepads and sticker books that I bought 2 of because I like them so much. Moving in a little closer, there is just a, well, it's not an official Happy Planner punch, it's a Box Clever Press one, but it does the same thing. And then that tiny little drawer unit down there just has things like little tools and screws and screwdrivers and just, you know, little handy bits like that, but I don't need access to them. Will you stop meowing, Conan? I'm trying to film. Do you very much mind? Meow! What? Oh, that's very, very... Oh, you've got a wet face. He's just been drinking from his water fountain, I think. I better go see what this cat wants. Sorry, talk about a disjointed craft room tour. He's still here, by the way, just licking his paws. For those people who don't like seeing animals in craft videos, then I apologise, but also you're on the wrong channel. This shelf here has, that box is full of like photo props and stuff. This one is full of sticky notes and list pads, which I pretty much never use. And there's just some random bits there, which, you know, have just been shoved there. Up here is lots and lots and lots of double-sided tape. And get in there, just because I have this fear of running out of tape. I don't know why. Sticks for hot glue guns. Again, just random stuff. That's a big heavy book which I use to press flowers. This here has ribbon in, and this box, if I can get in there, but that has all thread and stuff for stitching when I do stitching, paper stitching and stuff, not actual sewing because I can't do that. Up the top here, these 2 baskets, you will see these sort of style of baskets all over my craft room. They are either from Home Bargains or B&M Bargains or The Range or Wilko or places like that. A lot of them do the same sort of thing. Poundland as well do them. And in these 2 baskets, this is all card blanks and card blank packs, you know, when they've got the envelopes in them as well. This is all envelopes, and there's just some like spare little pocket page things down there for Project Life and whatnot. This shelf is one of my favourites. I'm going to step back a moment, careful not to step on my cat's tail. This is my notebook collection. I'm not sure of the number actually. I did have a little notebook that was like tracking my notebooks, but I don't know where it is at the moment. It's about 106 at the moment, but yes, I am obsessed. I collect many, many notebooks. They go back there and I love them very, very much. And up on this shelf is my planner collection. So these are all the ones that are not in use. If I just move these ones, there's some more back there, and there's also some all the way up there as well. And yeah, up the top I've just got some boxes, and like that was my first ever Kiki K purchase bag, I think, something like that. But as I said, I think I am going to move my big scrapbooks up to there. It's just, you know, something I need to set a few hours aside to do and find a step ladder and blah. So we will move around to my desk area. There's Conan having a wash, delightful. Down here is a bit of a mess as well. I've got like old gift bags, some packaging. It's mostly a lot of little gift bags actually. Like I've been at a crafty event and bought something, and the bags are always super cute, so I keep them and reuse them for giving presents to people. My glass mixed media mat lives there, so it's just nice and handy. This here is an IKEA Lennart, I think that's what it's called. In here, this drawer is empty at the moment and waiting to be filled with something. This has loads of plastic packaging, you know, like this from blister packs, which is really helpful if I'm mixing something for mixed media, like a particular colour, or I use it as a paint palette, because it's much easier to use, and it's kind of using plastic, which otherwise would get thrown away. Same for all this, is all plastic packaging for doing packaging technique and such things. And up the top here is this basket at the back, is all stuff for junk journaling, some stuff I've kept aside. This is kind of the same, but it's also a bit of like an in tray of stuff I need to go through and sort out and stuff. And it like has my hair bandana in there for some unknown reason. Hi. Okay, desk time. I'm just going to go as far back as I can, which is not very, because I've kind of got a very thin space here. But I have a very large partner's desk. Oh my goodness, I'm so embarrassed about the floor down there. Anyway, very large, very deep. It's what, 3.5, no, by 4 foot deep by 5 across. I don't know, something like that. I have my studio lights up here for filming. This is one of those little gooseneck or swan neck phone holders that I use for filming, which is just clamped onto here to get that overhead view. This unit here, I often get asked about this. My sister bought it on the Facebook marketplace for £5, so I can't help you, but it's really helpful. Because the desk is so deep, I can keep quite a lot on it. So around here, I've got like some hand cream, lip balm, hand sanitizer, a bowl of shells, just because I like sea-related things and they're good for photo props. These two little tubs here all have various bits of twine inside, like this is all coloured twine, and that one has natural twine, oh sorry, wire, natural and metallic. This little box has sewing stuff in it. I have 2 of these bin things. These are from the range. One is actually used as a bin, so I can just put stuff in here, then go put it in the bigger bin rather than constantly having to move from my desk. This one has glues in it, all my regular used glues. I keep my 3D gloss gel handy. Here is an IKEA Valeria, I don't know how you say it. Just one of those handy little shelf things. Spray bottle, kitchen roll, and also more kitchen roll underneath, I don't know why. This skull tray from TK Maxx, which I like to put ephemera in so I can, you know, spread it out and look through it. Here is a cat on a desk, which happens quite a lot. Planner, punch, some stickers I was recently using. Oh my goodness, Conan, this is getting impossible to film. Next to Conan here, once he gives me my hand back, I have this tin which is full of all of my fountain pens. I have this cute little pouch which I bought from El Rahir Leather, which I have like my pen of the day in, if you will. Then this has all my fountain pens inside. I have this scruffy piece of paper which is just, I can open it with one hand. I have all my currently inked pens, so I know what ink is in what pen. The only pen I don't keep in this one is my super fancy expensive pen, which I keep in my bedroom. Then moving across, we'll do the shelves in a minute, although just to show you the top of the desk, this is all sticky back plastic or contact paper if you're in the US. Just on top, the colour of this desk, I really don't like it at all. It's a great desk, but I just don't like the colour of the top. So I've got this kind of seashore wood covering the whole thing, and then I have a marble and another wood grain just down here all the time, which I can use for videos and taking photos and stuff. All I have to do is remove my big mat out the way. And we have many pots of pens. This one has all of the Crayola Super Tips, which I use for brush or faux brush lettering, plus some very frequently used pens in there. This has all my mild liners and the Kira Rich glitter highlighters. This is sort of secondary to the frequently used pens in there. All sorts of just loads. There's ballpoints, there's gels, there's super thick gel pens, paint pen, white gel pen, in this beautiful mug my bestie got me. Got a memo pad, which I mostly actually use to cover up photos on scrapbook layouts when I'm doing splatters. A little coaster there, this cute little deck chair someone gave me as a present. I use it to put my phone on, like if I'm watching Netflix or have podcasts on or whatever. I have two little trays just full of little knickknacks that are handy to have, like a little pin to unblock glue bottles, staplers, paper clips, washi to hold stuff down, single hole punch, and then this one is the same sort of thing, just some bits that I've used and haven't put away, a little stick for doing rub-ons, you get the idea, just little knickknacks and things. Then this pot is all my handy tools, bone folders, different types of scissors, pickup tool, pokey tool, aqua brush, craft knife, and yeah, handy tools in there. This one has all the different rulers, and it's got a few other random bits as well. I haven't actually been through this in a while. I probably should. It's mostly rulers. There's like a fork to make mini bows. Every time someone comes in my craft room, they're like, why have you got a fork? Obviously it's to make mini bows. Now having to stand up, there's two more there. This one is full of pencils, which I need to go through because I don't use it. There is a stress squeezy banana from my bestie, some more pens in that mug. Then I have this carousel thing, which I've had for a very long time. I think it's by Paper Mania. This hasn't changed in forever, so if you've seen previous craft room tours, you might as well just skip the next 20 seconds or so. Gel pens, black pens, metallic and glitter pens, Sharpies, Stabilos and Statlers, however you say that. And on this side where there's doubles, there's little pins in there, ink cartridges in there. Not that I really use ink cartridges anymore, but whatever. That's a bit of a catch-all. It's got like magnetic things and Velcro and spare blades for my trimmer. This has frequently used things like distress tool, the precision craft knife, perforator thing, and then hairbands and hair grips and nail files and useful things like that. And then that little pot back there is all my novelty things. So it's got novelty rulers, novelty pens that I've picked up at museums and gift shops and people have bought me. Now looking at the shelf unit, I'm just going to say this now because you're going to see these in quite a few places. These flatter plastic trays that are either in mint or white. That noise is Conan playing with a bow, by the way. Many of them I bought from Bunnings, but it doesn't exist in the UK anymore, but you can get them from the range now. They're the Wham boxes. And then these deeper ones are not IKEA ones. I either got them from Home Bargains or B&M Bargains. So all these trays have all of my really frequently used things. There's some baby wipes there. This is all the mixed media essentials. So gesso, clear gesso, more matte gel, modelling paste, black gesso, crackle paste. This has, other than the glues that I showed you a few minutes ago in the bin thing, or the different adhesives. I need to go through this. It's a bit of a mess, but it's foam tape, double-sided tape, Pritt stick, red line tape, many things. This is my glorious collection of Nuvo drops and the Dovecraft pearl effects and enamel effects. It doesn't actually look like much looking at them there, but there's about 60 or so Nuvo drops and then a handful of the Dovecraft ones there. I love them so much. And then up the side here I have all the swatches of inks that I use regularly. So there's the distress ones, there's some Nuvo swatches, a colour wheel, just useful things to have to hand. Next shelf up, this thin one has roller stamps in. The one I only really tend to use though is the date one. Then this is all basically stamping up here. There's loads of stamps in here. I just pulled that out. Most of the stamps in this tray are more sentiment and card making related stamps, generally speaking. There's a few planner ones as well, but yeah, for the most part it's sentiments and stuff. Then in this long tray is all my frequently used ink, so Black Stays On, Versamark, Memento, a couple of stamping blocks, stamp cleaner, and then some really diddy little ones here that are metallic and just really handy. Before I pull out this one, in case you're wondering why there's little bits of washi on these two, if I need a backdrop for a photo that's like vertical, I take one of these pieces, of plastic and put it up here and use the washi to hold it vertical so I can take my photo. So that's why that's there, in case you're wondering. So all of these stamps are all the more mixed media, more stamps and more for scrapbooking and diaries and junk journaling and stuff. It's more images rather than phrases and sentiments and stuff. And finally up the top here I have another skull, some Nouveau Dream Drops because it's full down there. There's 2 pots of paper clips up here, and then everything else plannery journally stuff. That's an old art journal, that's my current planner, current junk journal, some old junk journals I need to put away, one that's got addresses in, some travelers notebooks. So not everything up here is in current use, but it's either in current use or I need to do something with it and it's there to remind me. Now looking at the drawers, I apologise again for the floor. Blame the last person who used the vacuum and didn't put it back on charge, which might actually have been me. But anyways, almost every drawer at either side is full of washi tape. There are only 2 drawers, the long one and the deep one, that are not washi tape. So I'll show you those first. In this one here, this is a double sort of depth drawer. I have WeRMemoryKeepers punch boards, tag and alphabet scoreboard, the 1, 2, 3 punch board, which I use quite a lot, and the Tim Holtz stamping platform. It's a bit of a mess because I have all these little plastic baggies that I use to put ephemera and die cuts in, but the bag of bags kind of exploded and they're just loose everywhere in the drawer. And there's some spare baby wipes in there too. Then the long drawer, I just have to sort of balance it on my knees so it doesn't fall out, but this is my Distress Oxide collection, and then blending tools and spare sponges down here. They all have Velcroed on the bottom, their corresponding sponge, but yeah, I know some people think it's crazy to keep them all like taking up this much space rather than stacking them, but I just like to be able to see all the colours, because if I don't see it I won't use it. And then, as I said, every other drawer is washi tape. This one here, that's just something I need to do in there. This one, as you can see, it's full of these trays which I use to divide them. I've already talked about where they're from, but at the back is fancy washi, so it's lots of Simply Gilded and Planners Anon and a little bit of Michael's Recollections washi, which, you know, it's harder to get a hold of in the UK, so while my North American viewers may not think that's fancy, it's fancier in the UK. Same sort of stuff down there, as well as some Kiki K tapes. Then we start on my more junk journally washies, so I've got like some Tim Holtz tubes, some samples down there, lots of wide like cherry blossom ones, more like things that kind of vaguely vintagey and more junk journal appropriate, lots of wide ones here. I'm obsessed with wide washi. I love the stuff. Then this drawer has more junk journaling kind of washi inside it. Lots of really wide ones. Oh, that one's stuck up the side. Then like grid ones, and then all sort of the oriental themed ones. That one's nearly empty, so that one's not too full. Some Dovecraft ones. And then I also have a little thing where keeping account of how many tapes of washi that I have, so that is the current number there. And then moving across to the other side in here, well, it's not 100% washi. I do have some inks in a little storage thing. I don't think you can see it, but it's just another one of these trays which I have zillions of. This is other ink basically that I don't use as much as the blacks and greys, like sepia and green and blue. Then I have all my skinny washies in various. This one is a mess and really needs sorting out. My heat tool also lives here. Just a little notebook to make little notes to self about measurements and ideas. I have some tweezers, craft tweezers that I keep down there. And then also paper clips, just so there's a few handy to use. And just the 3 Nouveau Hybrid inks I have. The washi tape in here is all the gold foiled, a black and white, glittery, hollow silver, and then cat themed. And there's also some of that washi, you know, it's like separate petals and separate stickers that you pull off, so that lives there. This washi drawer, again, I'm outgrowing these little tubs already. 2 loads of all the floral washies that don't go with the junk journaling stuff, or don't necessarily go with the junk journaling stuff. That is all nautical themed and also blues and greens and greys, glitters. This is all sort of miscellaneous down here, just dots and spots and rainbows and various images and things. And the bottom washi drawer is some other wide washi there. Then we've got blues going into purples. I don't quite understand how I've organised that, because there's sort of turquoisey there and turquoisey there. I'll go back over at some point. Yellows and reds, pinks, and then some first edition washi back there. Getting on the floor under my desk, it's so messy. I've got always keep my trimmer, very, very handy. That basket is full of tissue paper. I've also got some sketch pads and things and some folders full of designs down there. And then this little plasticky drawer unit, which is probably from Wilko, I would imagine. This has spare adhesives in it. This is all spare pens and pen refills and such, if I can shut it. This has laminating sheets and some spare adhesive that wouldn't fit in the other drawer. And this is all spare planner pages and stuff, which keep divided in these little A5 wallets, which I buy from either Poundland or Wilko's. They're divided into A5, B6, personal, etc. And then there's just some mishy-mash stuff down there. Some pegs, some glitters, some pins, who knows. Oh, the desk always takes the longest. Bin down there, hello leg. Bin down there is always paper, so paper recycling in there. Then I have the first of 3 carts to show you. There's just some wires and stuff here, like I always have a phone charging cable and stuff. This is my mixed media cart. It doesn't keep all of my mixed media stuff, but it keeps my most used mixed media stuff in. So at the side on the little pots are little spatulas and stuff. These are my slightly nicer brushes. My really nice brushes I keep in my studio, because that's where I do my designs for the shop. So they're more like the middle range nice brushes. In the top here are all the sort of messy brushes for doing gesso and things like that with. I've got, what have I got in here? Gilding flakes, PVA glue, texture paste, varnishes, gloss gel medium, glass bead gel, white acrylic paint, bits and pieces, cup for water, these 2 little booklets. Let me bring one over here. There's 2 of these, which are those sort of what they call project presentation booklets or something, but I keep all of my stencils in here. This one is the one that has all the sort of flowery and naturey things in, and then this one here is the bigger one, and this has more, you know, crosses and shapes, circles, squares, stuff like that in. And behind there is all the bigger stencils that won't fit in there. And there's also some like transfers and some collage paper back there. Down here I have all sorts of things. So we've got things like glass beads, glass glitter and micro beads, art stones down there. We've got pastes, glitter paste, and like this granite paste stuff from Cosmic Shimmer, Cosmic Shimmer, which I love. Then I have 2 of these very sort of long containers, which have all my embellishment mousses in. As you can see, I have one stray that won't fit, which is mildly annoying, but oh well. And then in the bottom, there's actually not much stuff. There's this thing, which I use to like catch glitter and micro beads and things like that. There's some waxes down here, some of this deco topping, gelatos there, then some of the Luminart watercolours, a little spray bottle and some sponges. Behind where I keep that cart is this corner that can't really be used. I do have a few baskets of, like, there's some mixed media bits in there that I won't care if they get wet. They're just like some papers and bits of card and stuff which might be useful to use as a background or a canvas or something, but nothing I'll be upset if it gets wet because of the leak. And there's also further up, which I'm not going to show you, but just some spare boxes and storage and stuff. Then I have these 2 drawer units. I bought them from Home Bargains, but I haven't seen them in there for a long time, but I have seen them in B&M Bargains. The bottom 4 drawers are all Christmas stuff. So that's kind of why I keep the mixed media cart here, because I don't really need any access to my Christmas stuff for a good few months. But just to give you an idea, washi tape and ribbons, randomly journaly Christmas bits, papers, embellishments, and if I can shut it, lots of embellishments down there. And embarrassingly, that's not even close to all of my Christmas stuff. There's another massive box hidden under a desk next door, which is all the Christmas papers in. And then on the top drawer set, only sort of 2.5 of these drawers actually being used at the moment. This drawer, I kind of really need 2 hands to open this, because it's so heavy it kind of pulls the drawer unit with it. But in here is all my acrylic paints. So there's a mix of cheap Hobbycraft ones at the back to like better mixed media-y ones at the front in pastos and stuff. This drawer has random things, a thing of gouache paints, glitter and buttons in these cute little tubs from the range. And this drawer just has some decoupage papers, then some tissues for some reason. This top drawer is empty, and those 2 boxes are full of paper clips, so not very exciting. So next to those, I've got 2 IKEA Adils Linmon tables. I know they're different colours, but I already had this one secondhand, and I am too cheap to buy one that's the same colour just for the sake of it. So anyways, along the top here, that's my laminator just shoved there. Big Shot die cutting machine there. This little thing here is another shoe rack from Argos, which many UK crafters have in their craft room after Daisy of My Green Cow did it like years and years ago. I've had mine so long that it's actually bending a little bit, but it still does the job. I've got a plant up there. This little drawer unit in has not a whole lot really, like rings in there, and then it's a lot of stuff for the crocodiles. So I can't even think what you call them. Eyelets, that's what you call them, eyelets. I don't think there's anything. Oh no, there's some resin pieces in the top drawer. Then I'm just going to move these candles aside. These little tiny plastic drawer units from the range. They have a mix of, it's mostly stuff for mixed media, so little glass, I can't pick any up because of my nails, little glass cabochons in there in various colours, resin flowers, more resin flowers, lots of little bits in there, all just random little bits and pieces for mixed media projects. There's some wooden and metal pieces in there, and I think, oh no, there's some pins in that one, and I can't see, but I think these are all die cut bits and pieces in there. This is an old Christmas beauty box gift set thing. There's glitter in these little jars, which was a sweet gift set, as in candy for North Americans, and these are, yeah, full of sequins. Then in the drawers I have more buttons in there, and then this one, it's very difficult to open with one hand. I have lots of, if they will come out, command hooks, which aren't necessarily for the craft room, but they're just, that's where I remember they are. Down on these shelves, I'm just going to move the Big Shot aside. I'm going to get to that in a minute. That is full of teeny tiny little dies. This box has all of my embossing stuff in, so various powders and some pens and the WeRMemoryKeepers pillow flowery thing that gets rid of the static. This is one of those Paper Mania, it's really heavy, I'm just gonna have to, yeah, Paper Mania die folders. So this basically has most of my dies inside. I did buy an extra 10 or 20 of these wallets, so that's why it is pretty full. And at the back I also have this little display book which just has all my first edition dies in there, so that's why it's very heavy. In this little box is embossing folders and spare whatchamacallums for the Big Shot cutting plates, that's the word. These two, now you have to just forgive me if I'm being a little bit wary, because there was once a spider incident with one of these boxes and I'm kind of scared of them, but it's, again, lots of bits and pieces to use for mixed media. So there's like rattan and this chippy board stuff and some tulle napkins, glittery stuff, old like MDF coasters, just many mixed media goodies in there. And then this little one is more sequins. So these are like more of the cheaper sequins that you can buy from Poundland and whatnot. These are things like sequins from Spiegelmum scraps and more fancy sequin mixes and stuff. Going along here, I've sat down now, which is why the angle has changed. I've got a pot with just some random scissors and sticks and bits in. This little really useful box unit, a mini one that has, again, it's all mixed media-y bits. There's gems, metal, embellishments, if I can put that back in, shells, wooden pieces, florals, and also some brads and stuff at the bottom. Up the top, there's some pretty flowers that my mum gave me. They're still mostly going strong. This guy is getting a bit dead, but I might actually take a few off and press them while I still can. Anyways, just appreciating pretty flowers. Next to that, I have one of those acrylic drawer sets, which are kind of designed for makeup. I'm going to move that aside, which is all mostly glitter related. I have some micro beads up here, glitter pens, glitter glue, lots of little pots of micro beads in there, mica powders in there, and more glittery bits in there. That pot has scraps of like specialty paper for die cutting, so glittery and metallic papers. Just they're handy if you want to die cut a couple of stars or snowflakes or something. I just keep them aside. Got a little Ray Dunn Halloween tray with some die cut daffodils I made recently for a card and they were left over. Washi in case I have to stick anything down when I'm die cutting. Some faux flowers for photo props basically. Then I've got here, I suppose you could call it an embellishment centre. That's what I've heard other people call them. Anyways, but I've got more than one. This has mostly sentiments for cards in, just loads of different sentiments, just because they're handy. And then there's also some like stickers and stuff. Oops, not in shot, back there. More embellishments in this tub. The majority of these are ones that are like, they don't match any particular collections. The ones in there generally match, I've got a paper pad or something that they match, but these are like more Poundlandy ones that are super cute but don't necessarily match anything. Then this unit, which is from IKEA, I can't remember the name of it, has all pearls, gems and enamel dots. So back here we've got all the tall packets of pearls and gems. They're pretty much all Simply Creative ones. I've got some pearls down here, all the enamel dots and kind of enamel dot adjacent things like those are down there. More enamel dots there. These are all adhesive pearls in various colours. We've got smaller packs of gems at the front here, some smaller packs of pearls, and then these two just have little scraps, like there's only a couple of pearls or whatever left in them. It's kind of to remind me to look in these two things first. Going underneath these two tables, I have this large basket. Oops, sorry if I moved the camera too much, but that always has my current Thompson's Craft Supplies design team kit in it, just so it's nice and handy. There's two bags back there which, oh, no, they're not focusing. Let's go back a bit. Two bags which have art paper and stuff inside. This folder here has first edition scraps, so scraps from first edition paper pads organised into each collection. This thing here is a top of an IKEA table which lost its legs and I use it for photos. This drawer unit here from the range, this is all like stuff to journal. It's kind of ridiculous really. This has loads of greetings cards and stuff that people have given me, like stuff that's got more sentimental value, I suppose. This is stuff that's more specific to events and whatnot. And then this bottom drawer is just random pretty things that I thought would be cute for junk journaling. There's just so much stuff. This little drawer unit, I've just got some Halloween stuff in a box up there. Some of these are completely empty, just waiting for a use, I think. Oh no, all of them are, apart from that one, which has some spare boxes in. Right, backing up, moving along. I've got another cart. All of my carts are the Hobbycraft ones, and I only ever buy them when they're on offer, so maybe £20 each. This is my junk journaling cart. So even though I've got stuff all over for junk journaling, this is the main thing I go to if I start to junk journal. So up the top, I have this bag of stickers and things. There's a lot of little rainbow moon stuff in there. I just want to remember to use. The top is mostly stamps, stamps that won't fit in my other stamp storage, and I think is also particularly nice for junk journals, like lots of magazine stamps. These little letter stamp sets from Dovecraft. I've got a thing of archival inks, some wooden stamps, some foam stamps as well. Got a couple of punches. There's a corner punch and what do we call it? Like a hole reinforcer punch, which I only really use for making tags. 3 little pots along the front. In here I've got my crocodile and my tab punch. This is full of Versamagic, sorry, dewdrops, the chalky inks. Then I have my stapler and label maker. Down on the floor once more, this is mostly stickers and stuff. So I have this from the range, I think it was, with all my sticker flakes in, kind of organised into categories. At the back I have a load of rub-ons because I just love them so much. These are mostly stickers, the kind of thing that I put in my junk journal kits in my store, but they're ones that are imperfect. Like, you know, there's a bit cut off or a bit's peeled off and things like that. So I've had to set them aside. They're not good enough to put in kits and, yeah, use them for myself. This one has some sticker sheets in, some of mine, like from my shop to use because, well, I need to use my own stickers, really. And this has other little sticker sheets in, just that I thought were cute. And some random scraps and things. It's all stickers in these 3 things, basically. And up the side here as well. I have had these for 6 years, maybe. I really need to use them. But yeah, there's lots of beautiful stickers for junk journaling. And the bottom is a total and complete mess. It looks less messy when I take this top layer off. It's all just scraps and labels and packaging and all yummy junk journaling related things. There's some kind of newer things in here. This is all tags. I've got loads of beautiful things here sent to me from Ellen Oscar journals. There's some little Prima pockets, some more tags, and then up the back is some book pages and stuff. So it doesn't look too bad like that, but then I have this pile of stuff which I just shove on the top. So now going across to my long shelf unit with IKEA cubes and last little craft cart over there. There's that bow that my cat was playing with earlier. Down the bottom here, many paper pads. That's all there is down there. 6x6, 8x8, many 12x12s. A lot of these are left over from when I was on the Trimcraft design team. There's lots of bits left over from that, but I also have other paper pads here, like American Crafts and DCWV and stuff. Basically anything that I haven't got a matching collection with it, where it goes and lives on the Kallax over there. I have decided to get back on the ground and then we'll do the top later. So what have we got over here? Some random embellishments in here, which I didn't know where else to put them, like these hats. I couldn't think of any category to put those in. These are all mini envelopes and mini bunting and twine packs. Then we've got all my mostly 6x6 paper pads. This one has my nicer ones in, so they're all like Maggie Holmes, Pink Paisley, all the American Crafts kind of things, some Studio Calico, Pebbles, and a couple of Recollections. And then these are all like the Poundland and the Works and the Range, really cheap 6x6 paper pads. This one has a 5 paper pads and then the little, I can't get them out, little 10 by 10 centimetre ones. Then I've got some vellum pads here and just some spare loose randomy papers there. Down here, this box is full of scraps of paper that are like specialty papers, so handmade and mulberry and vellum, lots of scraps of that. This has material scraps in, so we've got some lace, some tools, some cheesecloth, all mixed medium-y things in there. Then I have acetate, craft foam scraps, a piece of glitter card that's rolled up for some reason, some more vellum, A4 papers, just plain coloured ones, black, craft, rainbow again. This little box here, it's all specialty papers and cardstock at the front, so glitter and metallic and pearlescent, and then at the back in these wallets are those Paper Mania Ultimate die cut sets. Some more foiled cardstock there. For some reason it's really long, so it won't fit amongst the A4 stuff. And then lots and lots of white cardstock, because it's very important. Up here, I don't think this has changed at all. I got a basket of craft punches. I said that weird. Craft punches. Boxes of scraps, and I put white and black scraps up the side so they're easier to get to. Then some loose papers. I don't actually know why they're there. And then some of these 6 by 12 paper pads. Then up on the top shelf, this is mostly all journaling cards, sort of project life related stuff. This is a random box of like scraps of stickers, like they've been in kits, and I've just cut out ones that I know I'll like, they're pretty and I don't want to throw them away. Just leftover stickers basically. Project life stuff and some small 6 by 8 albums. Up here are all tags, some more tags. I'm obsessed with tags. A box of tags, books of tags. Then these are all journaling cards, the 3 by 4s in these two things. These were kitchen storage units from Amazon, but I've had them for a long time, so I don't know if I'll be able to find the link. They're divided into categories, as you can see. There's functional, months, weeks and days, glitter, specialty, words and quotes, floral, and then all the 4 by 4s and 4 by 6s are in here, and they have similar categories. And then along this section is more embellishments galore. That is all flowers. All of it is all paper flowers in there. Then this has little ribbons and bows. It's a cute little box, has more flowers in. You've probably seen a couple of these boxes around. They were a set from the works. More flowers in there, and then lots and lots of paper doilies. In here, this is pretty much all wooden frames. Like pretty much all of it, apart from a couple of deco toppers there. And then this is all chipboard and wooden pieces. Everything from flowers to wooden bunting and random shapes and stuff, apart from frames, because they're all in there. Then up the top, probably one of my favourite parts of my craft room. Oh, first I just have a pin board up here, which I just put nice inspirational stuff on. There's a little tag I made. The board itself was a cheap one from Amazon. I painted the edges white and then put the material, just pinned the material to it, so it just looks way prettier. Then I have all my beautiful glorious spray inks. They are on these like condiment step things. I can't think of what they're actually called. Condiment cupboard organisers or something like that. All of Heidi Swap at the front. Middle is a mix of things but in rainbow order. Then there's Lindy's, then there's Distress Oxide, plus some random ones at the back. Distress Stain and Lindy's Magicals back there. Down here, it's just some little handy trays for putting bits in. Winsor & Newton inks, which are really good for splatters. So I've got gold and white, random bit of paper. Pins for the pin board. Then we have lots and lots of alphas. All of the alpha stickers, as well as a little notepad here. It's kind of in the queue to be used at my computer desk, but it's so pretty. It is a magnetic notepad, and I did have it on that cart, but it kept falling off, so it's kind of waiting for a new home, but it is very beautiful. Anyways, small alphas in this little thing. Again, Amazon kitchen ware. Hopefully I'll be able to find links if you're interested. But yeah, all of these small alphas live in this little box. And then in this thing, which is like, I think you're supposed to put tins in it or put it in your fridge. I don't know, whatever. But it's very, very handy because it holds 2 rows of thickers. So these are kind of organised. It's all metallics on one side and glittery ones, and then blue and green ones because I have lots and lots of blue and green ones. Then on this side, if I just get these little ones out the way, it's all black and white and grey, and then chipboardy woodeny looking ones there. Just a little mixed media thing I made there, which is just, can you stop? Thank you. I've got some more mixed media projects here, which I keep meaning to put up, I just haven't got around to it. This unit here is an IKEA Bitrade. I think that's how you pronounce it. Another little really useful tub, really useful box, rub, that's what they're called. The bigger one compared to the little one I have over there. These are full of little ephemera packs that I've had for a very long time and just really need to use. They're all like within one collection or something, so I've like cut the packaging up to use as a little sort of guide to what's in that pot. There is a tub of sweets. There's pictures of my cat. I don't think this has changed at all since my last room tour. There's 2 of these hangy things from IKEA, whatever they're called, with some spare little boxes in. This is full of those 12 by 12 grip lock bags that I keep collections in. Then we have many papers. That's the WeRMemoryKeepers paper rack. That is one of those, what were they called? Display Dynamics. I think they're shut down now. I tell this story every time I do a craft room tour, but I picked this up from somewhere that was closing down for 50p, and it was like the greatest moment of my entire life. But anyway, up in here, this top one is all cut apart sheets that I have cut a bit from already. This is all 12 by 12 cardstock sticker sheets, as well as a couple of chipboard ones. This is all specialty papers here. Vellum, glittered vellum, foiled vellum, acetate, pretty things. Then the bottom has white and cream cardstock, so I've got a big load of basil cardstock there, the marshmallow and the you know, the textured one, and there's this cheap one as well, which I picked up in the range. It also has textured 12 by 12 A4 vellum here, random single papers up the top here that I don't have a collection for them to live with. Same here, that should be there, hang on, bear with. Yeah, same thing here. I don't, you know, where I just don't have a full collection. It's basically, there's 2 or 3 from one collection, and that's it on the top one, and then only one. I can't get them out. This one is all Papercraft papers, and this one, if I pull it out, is all like mixed media appropriate, so AB Studio and Prima and all those kind of brands. Going up to here, this is all phrases and words. So this is full, another one of those kitchen things. They're all thickers that are all the, you know, pre-made phrases and words. It's a fair few of those, and these are the non-thicker ones. So I have some wooden words, things like the Tim Holtz chit chat stickers and snarky comments, Tim Holtz clippings, just lots and lots of words and phrases. And that's yet another kitchen organisation, storage, whatnot. And then more stickers in this cube, again with the long thin things. I think because they hold 12-inch long things in perfectly, and many scrapbooking things are 12 inches long, they're just perfect. This one here is all unbranded stickers. Many are from Poundland. This one is, they're all branded, but I don't have a particular collection for them to live with. It's just a mix of very, very lovely stickers. The next one is all Mambi, like Mambi chips and Mambi sticks and stuff. And then this one, so this has all those American Craft sticker books in. I have all but one I think. They did used to live there, but then they started leaning forward and bending, so that's why I've moved them over here, but now they're bending the other way, so can't win. And then the last thing I have to show you is the last cart. This one I'm going to have to replace soon because it's starting to buckle under the weight of the top shelf. I did buy it secondhand anyway, so anyway, point being, planner stickers all up in here. Another one of these little storage baskets, and these are mostly Etsy stickers for planners. So I made all these little dividers ages ago. They kind of work perfectly, so I haven't changed them in forever, but just to show you, that's the kind of thing in there. And that box is incredibly heavy. And then same sort of storage thing here. We've got mostly Mambi sticker books, a couple of the American Crafts card making ones, some loose Mambi sheets that people have sent me. Then at the front there's some Carpe Diem, and I think that's it. Oh, and some of those cheap little ones, if I can pull them out at all. Ooh, there we go, from Hobbycraft. Then again, more sticker storage. I've got a folder full of samplers from shops, some Kaiser Craft sticker books, some Busy Days, more Kaiser Craft, a folder with sticker kits in, which I don't really use anymore, but I've only got a handful left anyway. Same sort of thing in there. Coming down a level, this hasn't changed at all since last year. I'm just trying to turn it around. This is all ephemera. So we have these tubs, if I can pull them out, here from the range, which are all just full of ephemera. They're mostly, they are organised by a collection or a type. So up the back it's all Tim Holtz and it's all Maggie Holmes up the front. I have some Prima in this little wallet, teeny tiny baby ephemera in these teeny tiny little baby things, and then also ones that are just still in their packaging for, I don't know, whatever reason. And then down here finally I have this, which is just full of random ephemera, quite helpful for junk journals and stuff. These things, which are like, they're sold as bookmarks on AliExpress, but they're very cute for ephemera. I've got a few packs of those. And then the very last thing, if I can open it, there we go. It's not very entertaining at all. It's full of sticky labels and hole reinforcer stickers. And there we go. That is my craft room tour for 2020, or if you like, a few months late for 2019. I hope you enjoyed. Do let me know if you have any questions, if I haven't linked anything. I'll try to link as many things as I can, but a lot of stuff storage wise I have in here I have had for quite a long time, so it might not be available anymore. I think that's about it. As I said, just let me know if you have any questions or anything, and yeah, I'm going. Thanks so much for watching.